So we are back. And now we are having a bigger stack on the 3x turbo because we got to the add-on. And if you are playing like any rebuys, you always should have enough money to rebuy as many times as it requires for you to get to the add-on. And after the add-on, you need to take the add-on every time. There are very rare situations like in some satellites that there is very little to play after add-on, but usually it's good play to always take the add-on. And it's something that you just need to adjust your mind that you are always playing a lot. And in the 3x turbos you might be playing something like, I think my record now is somewhere around 40 rebuys. So you might be running really bad when the blinds are really high, and you might be using up a lot of rebuys. And also the satellites have worse structures than these tourneys, so this is going to be sensible, but the satellites are going to be completely insane. Like Sunday Million 3x turbo satellites, they might require a ton of rebuys. But the edge to get to the add-on is just going to be so big that you are required to take a lot of add-ons. That's an interesting one. That what do people think about the Ukraine situation in Estonia? Actually, we don't even know because we have been in Finland for a while, so we haven't been watching that much Estonian stuff about Ukraine, but I'm thinking that Estonians are a lot more likely to side with the Ukrainians there and be very afraid of the Russian thing.
I think they are definitely on the Ukrainian side. Because Estonians have their own history with Russian, so I think they get a lot of sympathy points at least.
Yeah, that's true.
Hello, Chance. Nice to see you again.
We have had a lot of satellites going on, and I think I started every MTT satellite from 2030 to when Sunday Million started. I started every MTT satellite and I got 0 tickets to show for it. So I think that's like $500 of Sunday Million satellites on the softest day when they are running, and still getting no tickets hurts a bit. I still think that the satellites for the Sunday Million are today, they are going to have the greatest value.
And now we are not the best of the shapes in the Sunday Million itself, but we are still in, so anything can happen. And of course we hope for the best, but I think we are gonna just skip this not such a nice hand and wait for a little bit better situation.
Yeah, especially when there's a Sven or that's the guy that it's kind of a loose cannon.
So you just know what it feels like to be running really bad.
But I shouldn't be that worried because I got 3 or 4 satellite tickets to Sunday Million from the hypersats that run before it, and so I got more than I deserved there, but the MTT satellites were brutal.
I don't know, if we had been here, I guess you would have played a lot of those satellites yesterday as well.
I'm not completely sure. I think I'm going to have a higher hourly rate if I'm playing hypers than if I'm playing the Sunday Million satellites. I don't think that there is going to be an interesting amount of Sunday Million satellites going going around and adjusting for the different bubbles is going to take a lot of mental energy. So you can't. I don't think that you can pretty much play like 40 tables of satellites. You are going to more likely play 20 tables of satellites and trying to get the bubbles as close as you can.
True, I just thought that there were probably a lot more satellites than usually, and a better satellites than usually yesterday as well. But I didn't check that because we stayed in Finland and we didn't have a chance to play anything while visiting relatives. So it's just guessing on my part.
And last week, Chance, I said to you that you are going to be seeing why it probably isn't the best of ideas to do what I did with the trying to aim for 100 average buy-ins for MTT sit and goes on my $50 to $55,000 in 2 weeks project that you can read more about on our forum www.pokerimania.com/forum. And yeah, it's also, if you are playing $200 for satellites, it might be that you are getting 0 tickets, it might be that you are getting 1 ticket, and it might be that you are getting 7 tickets. So it's the EV that matters. Expected value. And if there are 3 limpers, I'm going to be shoving wide here, and ace 8 is going to be as nice of a hand that there can be. And we are probably, I don't even know if we're going to get called, because these guys that are limping behind, they should never have a good hand, because it's so, I think it should be so self-evident to shove. But the first limper was trapping. So...
Oh, come on. You don't want to limp with queens, because every single time there's gonna be another limper or a third limper, and then there's gonna be a queen, not a queen, but a king
or
ace on the flop, and then you are screwed. So please do not do that unless there is a very, very special occasion. You don't want to be hating your life when it's ace high flop and you have no idea what to do with a multi-way pot.
So now we have gotten most of our games through, so I'm adding some more games on our side. But all of the scheduled MTTs are pretty much gone. And we are taking some, I think this progressive knockout is going to have some nice pots. And as you can see, the $11 progressive knockout sit and goes are going to be fun, because there are going to be opponents that are playing pretty badly. And like in here, we can pretty much start marking players like that we want to find again and want to play more against. Actually, this guy is also, he has earned the tag. And chance, it was a $1 tourney. Limping queens was to be expected. Not exactly when it's a $1 3x turbo. It's more like it's playing like a $20 game. So limping queens is not to be expected. We are having a decent hand in the Sunday Millions, so it might be good, but I try not to get too excited.
We'll see what Simo thinks. Simo is a Finnish name. I wonder where he's from.
Switzerland.
Interesting.
It's always a bit worrisome when someone is taking a lot of time to act while we are holding the coaching session. We are going to call small bets here.
Not so small anymore.
Yeah. Pretty quickly moving to the Hate My Life club as well. I don't think that we are going to be beating enough of his range to be calling the river. Especially when it looks like such a value bet for probably a worse player. And it's going to be really likely when he's thinking about calling, it's going to be a weakish ace. Yeah, taking a lot of time on the flop is going to be... It's weird-ish. If he's taking a lot more time in the future against us, we are going to move the Sunday Million game out of the screen until we know better, but it's something that makes me feel a bit uncomfortable. So if you are on the same table as I am, please tell about it in the chat so that we can... And you can use the Justin TV's chat, or you can use our own pokerimania.com chat. So, but please let us know so that I'm having a lot of tables on the other screen, so I can always switch tables.
Maybe you can check if he's playing how many tables at this moment.
And that's also that if you are right-clicking a player's name, you can open how many tables he's playing, and you can search the player instantly on your tables. That's also something that's good to know. And he's going to be re-stealing us. He's so tight that we are not going to be fighting against him at this time.
And if you are wondering about the HUD numbers you are seeing, the explanations for it are on the forum. So you can register yourself and find all the information you might want to get over there.
Yeah, I should have the HUD stats here, but I'm bad. I have been bad. This is also bad preparation because I usually always have the HUD definitions.
More reason for you guys to see our forum. Welcome. Markus, we checked that Simo player, but he was blocked, so we couldn't see if he's playing other games at this time.
And it's something that some players say that you can pretty much mark a player if he has blocked his search. I don't think it's true, because I think some of the players are also getting a lot of abuse that are not winning players. They're getting a lot of abuse, and they're also blocking their chat to not get the players following them around and abusing them on the chat show. There are going to be players that are not playing good or not playing profitable poker and are still hidden, so there is something that you shouldn't be reading too much into it, I think.
And I think it's the same with the timing tells. You cannot always think that, okay, he's thinking too long, he must have a good hand, or he's confused, he doesn't know what he's doing, because sometimes it can be completely opposite of that. He's not taking so much time because he doesn't know what he's doing. It can be because he's playing 20 other games and he just has no time to work on that specific hand immediately. So don't rely on those things too much.
Yeah, I think, for example, my timing will be pretty random, and it's not about the hand that's going up, but it might be a hand in a way different table that's holding me up.
And you Lost Bro, welcome to you too. I hope we'll see an heads-up situation at some point, because then it would mean a lot of money. At least some. More than cents.
Yeah, we have already had a, how's it called? We have already had a, I think we were 12th in a $51 hyper turbo for today. So we were almost at the final table. But, well, we'll see and we'll hope that the future will be brighter for us.
Yep.
But it's actually our Julas Pro posted your Sunday Million bust-out hand to your blog and didn't feel like playing MTTs after that. That's what MTTs are doing to some players, because MTTs are going to be, they are really rarely they are going to be nice. They are most likely they are going to be horrible. And you are pretty much satisfied only when you are having a lot of money, but you are pretty much satisfied only if you are winning the tournament you are in, and every other spot is going to be a loss for you, so, or it's going to feel like losing, so. I don't know, it's actually depends a lot of the on how the bigger 55 is running, but our chokes have been really tired, so, and really bad, so.
Like normally they are not.
Yeah, normally they are going to be really solid chokes, but today, nah.
Not the
Not
the
feeling
usual
the
quality.
wine. Not the usual quality, and that's even not saying a lot.
But that's Sunday Million
Queens.
all in Queens.
Do you feel like crying already?
Now I do. I don't dare to see. It's so.
We have been traveling a lot, we have been sleeping a little, so we are quite likely not as fresh as we would like heading up to this day, but I think that it's good to have a schedule for the English side as well, and to anchor these days to Sundays, so that Sundays are fun days.
And we didn't want to disappoint you by cancelling this evening. So I hope you do appreciate our effort today.
Even though we might be slightly tired.
But Kummilurtsi, thank you for your nice words. I would have been a bit disappointed if there hadn't been anyone who noticed my new hair today, but luckily you're not the first one. Yeah, I thought that this is a special night. We are winning that 1 million plus, and it needs some funkiness.
Just add funky.
Most deaf. Julas Pro asked about those satellite tickets. Did you ask? Did you talk about them already? You did not. For him.
I got some tickets from Hyper Satellites at the beginning of the session and before the session, but during the time that I started every MTT sit and go, or every MTT satellite for the Sunday Million for about an hour before Sunday Million started, and I lost all of them. So no tickets from the MTT satellites for us.
I think during this special time, Kalon is correct that if we do get to top 5 in Sunday Million today, we are gonna feel okay. unless it's gonna be a really really sucky situation that we have like 95% of the pot when the money is all in and then we get busted. But I think I will find some ways to spend that money.
No doubt about that.
So you better be playing well.
Actually, my computer is starting to feel a bit sluggish with all of this load, so I'm going to not be opening more tables.
And Markus, you shouldn't be blaming women on changing their hairstyle. You should be blaming men for not noticing important things in their lives. Right?
I think that I'm going to speak for the whole mankind here, that it should be made mandatory for women to announce everything that has changed that they want to have a positive opinion about. The communication is going to be key, and then it's going to make both parties more at ease when there are not going to be traps on, hey, did you see what has happened today?
And probably the best thing about that statement is that you did mention that the woman should be saying that this is the moment when you have to say something positive about it. Because sometimes if you're just asking opinion, it's not guaranteed that it's a good one. And even though it should be, and there shouldn't be a reason why it...
Now this is going to be deep strategy discussion.
Yeah. And I bet this will be the most important lesson of this evening.
We're going to be min racing into a tablet player that's going to be the leading knockout expert there, so...
Do you know what you're doing?
Yeah. Hopefully winning money.
You're not hopefully winning money, you are on the way of winning money.
Actually, he's betting the whole pot. And our hand is going to be a complete bluff. I think that we are going to shove it sometime, but it's going to be against a player that we are thinking that is a thinking player and is going to be placing a lot of aggression as a bluff and not be willing to follow through.
You lost, bro. What do puzzles and women have in common? I shouldn't be saying that there is always one piece lost. Sorry.
And that's something that only you could have said. Not me, because that would have been stupid.
Of you to say that kind of things on a live stream. But you have learned something during these all years. That's a positive thing.
So Virpa is going to be quadrupling up in the 180 man. And that's going to be great because Virpa is in the right team. And now Virpa is not going to be all alone because we are having some cashes in, so there will be something interesting. Without antis it's not going, I can't see a way to make it profitable.
So Julos Pro, you are as good as with jokes as we are. Burn. I think that seems to be the case for this evening. That's not the first time that you are saying, I could be shoving, but there's no antes. So please remember, antes are making a huge difference in some situations.
And actually I don't like our Sunday Million table that much, because we are having this Svenor on the big blind, and I like to be opening a lot from the button, but it's not going to be very profitable because he's such a huge calling station. So we need to be waiting up more on hands and not playing as much situations as I would like to.
So Kumilurts is saying that we have to promise to do something special on live if we get top 5 in Sunday Million. Shoot us. You can, if you have so many good ideas, any reasonable good ideas.
Yeah, I can't go full Joe Thornton on live stream. It's prohibited by the YouTube rules.
Oh yeah, that's the reason why I can't do that. Good point. I was almost promising that already, so stay tuned. What would we do? We will definitely open a champagne bottle at some point.
After getting the monies.
Yeah, we are gonna be in really bad shape anyway if we are gonna get into the final table, so we are not going to take any more risks by opening any alcohol products before the final conclusion.
It's going to be, because we are opening such an early position and he's going to be a supernova, so I think he's going to be more likely to know that our open from early position should be strong and less likely to shove on us light there. So, and we are actually taking this is going to be an interesting game. Only 47 players remaining, 27 places paid. It's going to be more interesting than the middling stuff in the.
We got it good in. Yeah, that worked out nicely.
Now we are on the chip lead, and now we are making Kauris afraid.
You're like the master of timing there. Like, look, I wins them all. Chip lead. That requires a lot of balls in the middle of the hand when it's definitely going to be a showdown.
Oh, Virpa is having some holes in the Sunday storm. That's always great.
Congratulations. We like that kind of news.
And Kaleon said that you can promise anything special because it won't be happening before those cows start to be flying. I think it's going to be more likely that we are going to win Sunday Million or win big on Sunday Million.
After that kind of comment.
Yeah, now like Kaleon jinxed us and we are going to have a huge run in the Sunday Mill.
And later you can call us Estonian Flying Cows.
That would be like the worst team name ever. The mighty flying cows of Estonia.
Well, if I get half a meal, I don't mind. I can be one of those. Like, ship me that money and I can call myself an Estonian flying cow. I promise you that.
And wow, a 60 buck 180 man, are those running normally? Those are running in the weekends and they are running decently. Also 35s are running that are decent plays rake wise. And these are available on Sundays and Tuesdays, these 60 buck games. So They are not available every day, but when they are available, I think they are really decent games to play.
Oh Virpa, that's too heavy. We need 1 million for that. Mighty flying dynamite cows. Don't be pushing it.
And we are going to be race folding there. We would be race folding pretty much against anyone, even though the stacks are so...
We got a top set against the new...
But he's not going to bet a lot himself, but he's going to be paying a lot, so we are going to be aiming to bet a few streets, and we are shaping the pot so it's easy for him to get tangled into the pot, and we are getting it in on the river. And we are shaping the pot in a way that it's going to be hard for him to get rid of his...
But somehow he managed to do that. Unfortunately. But still... Nicely.
And now Korpisoturi is also afraid.
For a reason.
A guy that's a tricky bastard. He called me pre-flop and then he bets post-flop and he's 33. I can't see him, even though his name is Tricky Bastard. I think we are going to take Nick reads that it means exactly the opposite. And Gummilurtsi, if I'm going to win this 60 buck 180 man hour rahastusjahti will progress something like 3.3k.
I thought it was 3k.
3k exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I just noticed that earlier. I don't play those regularly, so I could remember those numbers by heart. Yeah, you could win that as well. You have spent so much money today.
I have actually spent a ton on the buy-ins today.
I think a bit more than you expected.
Actually not, because most of the Sunday Million satellites were pretty cheap. And we got most of our tables from there. And we are still in some of the biggest tourneys that we had, like the Hotter 55 and Bigger 55. And we are going to get it in, even though we don't like it that much, but when the stacks are only so deep that he's shoving 8 big blinds, we need to be calling there. Too hard to make money there, because he's not going to be folding anything on the big blind for a small raise, and big raise is not profitable, so
just easy hand to lay it down.
yeah. And with JBT we are going to get it all in. So we are going to play aggressively against his open from the bottom. He has been playing very aggressively, so we are going to be re-stealing aggressively from him as well.
So be aggressive. Be aggressive. That's the way to go.
Yeah, that's usually what happens in poker, that if you stay aggressive, good things will happen.
Eventually. It might take some time but that's always the case with MTT tournaments.
Or that's always the case with poker, that
True.
good things will happen, but it will take time. And for Korpisoturi, that's a surprise that kind of 180 man opens. I don't think you should be surprised because these Sundays are going to have really decent traffic, and I think it's going to be in the MTT lobby. And when it's in the MTT lobby, I think they're open something like 3 in an hour of these, at something like 6 in an hour of $35. And we are going to actually we are going to get excited for nothing.
That's a shame. Again.
Yeah, again. And flush entity almost shoves the 4 big blinds. I think it's going to be plus EV to be just isolation shoving there and trying to get us play a pot against him. And there's actually going to be another interesting game because we are nearing the bubble on a $35 180 man as well. What do you think about the player level in the $60 180 mans? I think it's about level on the $15 180 mans, so it's going to be slightly hard to make money, but if you are playing profitable poker, I think you are going to do fine in the area of the 180 mans, but the variance will be probably quite horrible, or the perceived variance. So I'm taking the... So we are having 2 180 mans near the bubble. In there, so I think they are going to be interesting games. Then we are having Sunday Million and the bigger 55 that are going to be the games that are determining how long our session will be. Because I think as long as we have solid stacks in the Sunday Mill and bigger 55, we are going to be opening turbo 180 mans. But after we don't have, then we are going to be slightly reeling the session in and focusing more on hypers or something short. But I don't think that what I have seen in the $60 180 mans, there are some MTT players that are good that are playing these games. So there are some better players, but there are also some regs in the $15 180 mans that are not playing these because they aren't rolled to play these. So, but I'd say in general, if you are a profitable turbo MTT player, then you are going to be a profitable player in the $60 180 mans. So I think the attainable ROIs are over 20% there. So that's what I meant, but also because they run only 2 days a week, and they are running quite rarely. Actually, we are going to... That's a hard spot because I'm trying to... Is he going to be induced for action, or is he having a huge... Or is he having a bad hand and he's trying to increase his fold equity? And I think both are definitely possible.
Yeah, and after all, it's a bubble situation, so still it can be both ways. And Korpisoturi says that he wants to see a player who plays profitable poker and loses. There seems to be a paradox.
Playing profitable poker and losing isn't a paradox because there is variance in poker.
True. And I can say for sure that you can do that for a long time in sitting goes, that your real results are completely different than your EV results. And I think EV results are way more accurate on the long run than the real money results.
I think, like Corbitor, if you are asking about what kind of bankroll would be good for for a good reg for the $60 game, if the good reg would only play these $60 games, I think it's going to be close to 30k. But most likely, if he's a good reg, he's going to play a split session between 35s, 15s, 8s, and $3.5 rebuys. And then I think about 15k would be sufficient. Because you can, I think on even the best players that I have looked up on Sharkscope have been on 500 plus buying downswings on these, so they can be really rough.
That's interesting situation. Oh, it just cleared the bubble. Yeah, I thought it's still at the bubble and there's a three-way all-in already, but no.
It's always going to be when the bubble clears up, then there are going to be some insane hands following. So may the worst hand win. But I think on the MTTs, the bankroll requirements are, for a professional player that can't replace the bankroll easily, are going to be higher than most players are using. And I don't think that for an MTT professional having 500 buy-ins and actually not just average buy-ins, but having solid 500 buy-ins for the biggest games, I think he can survive by a slightly smaller bankroll. And against Simo we are getting it in the Sunday Mill. He has been so aggressive, so I think it's an easy decision.
And we got switched with the tables.
And I think like pretty much at the beginning we got against the Swinor, and we got something like 3k stack, and now we are back at the starting stack, but it has been a long way. It has been a really long way, and I think there's still the late reg going on, because I can't see how many players are paid, so.
Oh dear, don't say that.
Oh dear, of course, because I want to tell you the truth.
Well, you want to tell me that there is even more money to be made on the final table.
Yeah.
Please show me.
Almost 1.1 million for the winner, and everyone at the final table are going to get at least a 6-figure payday. And if I'm looking at I'm shining my crystal ball, and I'm looking to my crystal ball and I'm saying that you are going to see most likely a 9-way, or you are going to most likely see a 9-way or 8-way deal in the final table of the Sunday Million.
I guess you are right. The pay jumps are just going to be so insane, at least today. Well, of course normally as well, but today it's just incredible to think that the 9th player can get something like 100k and the first one will get way over 1,100,000, if not deal made.
And no matter what, the player that wins the tournament will have outdrawn someone at some point.
No shit, Sherlock. We are coming back to this. So will there be one recreational player with a mobile device on the final table?
Nope. But if it's going to be the final table, we are going to be the player with the mobile device. If we can't be here, so. And your laptop doesn't hold charge for a long time, so I think we are quite likely to play with a mobile device at some point if we are getting to the final table.
That shall be interesting. We do not promise any stream from that. If we are in the car and driving, and I think our capability is not going to be enough to
like live stream that as well.
Yeah. I cannot be driving at the same time when he's playing and then have a separate video camera or whatever it might be even possible for that kind of situation. Nope. Or then we just have to cancel our meeting.
Yeah.
For 1 million. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. But I'd say that the Sunday mill is going to be interesting, and even these sit and goes are going to get interesting when they are going to have some decent paydays coming up. And this is going to also be quite interesting to see how wide the play-up lease is going to be opening. I'm not going to shove on his early opens that much because I don't think that the general player in these games is going to be wide enough. But we have seen some nice plays on the Sunday Million that people are just playing bad, so. And actually, yeah, the final table will be the cards shown by PokerStars, so we can then add our own commentary.
Oh, that would be some deep shit.
Actually, I think most of the tables are having most of the Sunday tables are having the hands shown. I think you have been on some Sunday Women's that was the hands shown. I'm not completely sure, but I think that even the Women's Sunday is having the final table replayed.
I don't know. I have to admit that I haven't seen a single replay of any Sunday major tournaments on PokerStars software.
Yeah, there have been. There have been replays, and usually just I'm not that interested. Sometimes when there have been Finns or when I got the message early on in the morning to check for what is a good ICM calculator for making a deal on the Sunday Million final table. That's probably the only time that I have watched through the whole Sunday Million final table replay. And obviously, I think if I win Sunday Million, I would not leave my computer and close the poker software until I have seen the cash withdrawn safely to my bank account. I think it's going to take some time because I'm thinking about how many times would you need to increase your transfer limits on PokerStars to get the money to your own bank account.
Oh, but you are just missing the most important thing.
Like being awake for the whole process.
No.
And Callion got the nice idea there, like winning Sunday Mill and then getting denied of increasing the withdrawal limits. That would be evil.
That would be the master evil.
I think that there might be some poker software. I don't think PokerStars would be one of those that could do something so evil.
Yeah. But if we won the Sunday Million today, I think the first thing we should do, definitely...
Get drunk.
Yeah. But before that, we need a car. We need to get the first cash out, whatever the amount is, the maximum amount of possible withdrawal at the moment. We need to go to the closest ATM, cash it all out and rub it on our titties. And then get wildly drunk. That's something that we should do.
If he's just checking behind, I'm going to think that he's going to be pot controlling quite a lot, and I don't think that he's going to have better hand. And I don't think that we missed value there because there are four overcards, but it's going to be that he's a candidate for a player that we like to play against. He's definitely on my radar right now.
Yeah, he probably wouldn't have paid anything on the river anymore. So, no worries.
That was actually an interesting spot when he just called, because I think that he's going to have a better hand than King Queen normally on that spot, especially when there are just like Jack-6 is only 11.8 big blinds deep effectively, or with the entails taken into account, so it wouldn't be that or he would have increased his fold equity by not making it even possible for someone here to 4-bet against a hand that plays well against the first opener's range.
I kind of wish I could see that YouTube link that Korpisoturi sent, but unfortunately we cannot do it at the moment. But you are in really good shape on the bottom right table. Chip lead again, and it's almost final table time.
Yeah, it's now nice when it's going to be 15% of the stacks in play. We are already having them, so it's going to be... But we are having, like the Playa and On My Bicycle are... On My Bicycle is solid reg, so we are probably going to have some nice clashes, even though... And it's going to be, I think we are like top 1, top 2, top 3 stacks, and we are next to each other on this table, so it's going to suck a bit.
And the next choice for our...
I think this is closest to the bubble, so it's going to be interesting when there is going to be some money stuff pretty close.
You have won a $0 in knockout bounties. What have you been doing there?
Chilling out.
And that's the game plan, because...
I think on one of these knockouts I had like 15k stacks, so I had like close to 5% of all the chips in play. We were like 20 players remaining, and I had still $0 in knockout fees because I had stolen a lot there, but I hadn't knocked anyone out, so because I didn't run that good on those spots, so. And we are getting more solid here. It's a bit of shame that we didn't get any decent action on
Ace King hand.
Yeah. We are going to be 3-betting small here. It's going to be a hard hand. We can't be set mining profitably there because our own stack is so tiny, and I don't want to be folding 9s. That's just too weak, I think. And when we are 3-betting, this is going to be also 3-betting as a bluff in a way, because we are... If he's going all in, or I think that it's really likely that we are at best we are on a flip. And now that he did only a small 4-bet, it's going to be like there is a 20% chance of queens, and then there is going to be an 80% chance of kings plus.
I agree. And you can see from his stats that he's a nit. So I would say 99% of the hands at that spot were the nuts.
Yeah, but I think that by 3-betting there we are... And by 3-betting there it's going to be hard for us to make money, but it's like 9s is going to be a hard hand for us to make money there anyway.
Bad spot.
Hard spot. But we are still on the Sunday mill. We are starting a break here. I'm trying to look through all of my tables, that if I'm having any tables running right now. I don't. So we are going to take maximum EV from our break, and we'll see you in 5 minutes.